Hello, I'm John. Today I'm going to be making 3 different margaritas. So I'm going to start today with just an original margarita, and then I'm going to move on to a nice refreshing watermelon margarita, and I'm going to end on a nice sweet mango margarita. Stick around and I'll show you how I make them. So for my margaritas today, I'm going to be using 2 different types of tequila. Now, I'm going to start with the original and use just the silver tequila. The silver tequila has a much kind of sharper taste. It is not aged, it's made from agave, and basically, yeah, it's got a bit of a sharper taste and it's quite nice than just the plain, simple, basic margarita. But for my last 2, the watermelon and the mango, I like to use the aged tequila, so the tequila reposado. So this has a much softer taste. I find it's nowhere near as sharp. It's been aged for some years and it has more a bit of a, oaky taste, and I don't know, I think most people look at the coloured or the aged tequila and they think, oh, that won't be very nice, but it actually is not maybe as strong and as sharp, maybe is a good way to describe it, as the silver tequila. So I recommend giving it a go, but whichever tequila you have, you'll still make a great cocktail. Alright, let's dive straight in with the original margarita. So I've got my glass ready, just traditional margarita style glass. I'll pop that down. Now to start this, I am going to use 45 milliliters or about a shot and a half of my silver tequila. So I'm going to pour that into my shaker with ice, probably again about a handful of ice. And then I'm going to come around with 15 milliliters of Contro. So any kind of orange liqueur, so a triple sec, Contro, doesn't matter, whatever you have, just to give it some nice sweetness and orangey flavour. Then I'm going to come along with about 30 milliliters of lime. I usually just use 1 lime, depends how juicy it is, but you can measure this out if you want to. As an optional sweetener, I quite often like to use agave syrup. If you don't have this, you can just use simple syrup or a little bit of sugar. So just a side note, the agave syrup is similar to kind of tequila, because tequila is made from agave and it has a sweetness, but it has a bit of a flavour to it, unlike just simple syrup. Simple syrup is literally just sugar and water, so the agave syrup gives it a bit more flavour, again, completely optional. Once I've combined all of these in my shaker, I'm just going to give this a bit of a shake and then pour this directly into my glass. And here is my original style margarita. Now, one thing you might question is my lack of the use of salt around the edge. Now, feel free to do this if you'd like to, but basically just wet the edges of the glass with some lime and then dip it in some salt. I don't often like to use salt, to be honest. I know it looks good. If I ever use salt, might only do half of the rim. I don't really like drinking it with salt, but again, this is completely optional, and for an at-home cocktail, at-home margarita, this is just fantastic. Let's move on to the deliciously refreshing watermelon margarita. Now, this watermelon margarita is quite nice if you don't feel like going for that really sharp, bitey margarita. This is very similar to the original margarita, but the addition of the watermelon juice really makes it more refreshing and less strong tasting. So just to prepare this, you could, I guess, use store-bought watermelon juice. Not that I've really ever seen that much, or I don't know if that's very nice, I've never had it, but I like to just blend up some watermelon. So here I've just chopped up part of the watermelon, popped it into my NutriBullet, given a little bit of a blend, and then strained it into a glass as so. So this is all I'm going to add. Let's start by putting some ice into the shaker, and I am going to first start with 45 milliliters of the aged tequila, and then I'm going to come along with 15 mils of Contro. I'm going to add 30 mils of lime juice, and then I'm going to add 60 milliliters, so 2 shots approximately, of the watermelon juice. And then again, optionally, if I want a little bit sweeter, I will add 15 mils of my agave syrup or simple syrup, whatever you have. And here we go, I'm going to pour this into my glass. Now I'm just going to use a tumbler style glass here, and I like to add it with some ice sometimes. Again, dilutes this. So I find that this drink is really nice, summer day, outside, or if you just want to have a chill tequila kind of drink or margarita that isn't as full on. And yeah, here is my watermelon margarita. Alright, so last but not least, the deliciously sweet mango margarita. So everyone loves mango margaritas. I feel like it's something that you have when you go out. They're lots of fun. And for here, I'm just going to use some mango juice, some store-bought mango juice. I feel like that is quite good for this drink. You can also blend up a mango. A whole other thing, I've made these by blending mangoes up with ice, tequila, Contro, and that is delicious too. For right now, I'm just going to use mango juice, but remember that mangoes, if they're in season where you are, that will obviously be nicer, and it's a bit more effort, but you know, a good margarita is a good margarita. So to start, I'm going to fill my shaker with ice again. I'm going to put 45 mils of my aged tequila, whatever tequila you have, or whichever you want to use, but 45 mils of tequila, and then 15 milliliters of Contro, 30 mils of lime, 60 milliliters of mango juice, so 2 shots, and 15 mils of agave. Now, if you've got a really sweet mango that you've blitzed yourself or blended yourself, you may not want to add any agave syrup. Even so, if the mango juice is very sweet, you may not need it. But again, it's optional. It's something you probably want to have a bit of a taste, and then you can adjust the final part to how you like it, because it's really going to depend on the juice you have or the mango you use. Alright, so here we go. Here is my delicious sweet mango margarita. Let's give it a try. Really nice and mango-y. Use actual mangoes if you want, but this honestly is amazing. It's so nice. Again, much sweeter, different style to this original margarita, but all really nice, and a few really nice combinations. So I hope you really enjoyed this video and you make one of these margaritas, all very different flavored, but I hope that you get to see that you don't just have to have a very simple, traditional, strong and sour, very bitter, limey tasting margarita. You can kind of mix it up with a nice refreshing watermelon and a nice sweet and fruity mango. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you.